Hello, Anturgo. How are you? Thanks for joining.
Hello, Adam. Thank you for making this space to share a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to cover this event that's going to be happening September 25th through October 4th. Um, for those of you, who will be watching this video, if you don't have intentions in going, um, that's fine. Or if you see this video at a later date, this conversation is going to cover topics that um, cover the Inca teachings, practices, things of this sort. So it may be knowledgeable if you're interested in hearing that those kinds of details. But yeah, if you are hearing this in time, we'll be happy to have you join this event that's going on in September 25th through October 4th. So thanks, Anturco, for bringing this event to us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So to keep this meeting um, manageable with time, we're going to go over some of the details of this event that you put together and talk about these concepts that are very interesting. So um, right off the bat, Anturco, what is the inspiration for this event and bringing people to Peru?
Um, First, I want to acknowledge this time. I want to acknowledge you and your presence to make this happen. And one of the main vision here is to give the tools for people to begin the path of awakening. And this is designed in such a way to activate and to provoke the awakening of people when they are experiencing of this 10 immersion journey.
Excellent. Yes, you bring up we'll put a link in this video that has all the details. And so some of the items that are mentioned in the description, um, you mentioned here that the journey is designed, as you said, to activate and awaken the Intimuhu, the solar seed of consciousness. Um, the solar seed of consciousness. This is actually one of the first concepts that I ran across in finding you online, and really enjoyed that. So, do you want to talk a little
Yeah.
bit about the solar seed of consciousness?
Yeah. So, uh, Intimuhu, that is translated to the solar seed of conscience. That's in the language of the Incas, the Runashimi language, which is a code. That means that it's talking about the solar seed of conscience that we all human beings carry. And as carriers of this seed, as as example of any seed that we know has the potential, to begin a journey of, we can say, transformation and evolving, like a plant, when begins to germinate, begins to grow and to flourish. So that is kind of an example of the meaning of Intimuhu, that we all, as a human beings, are carriers of this sacred solar seed that is ready to awake, to transform, and evolve.
Interesting. Okay. Um, yeah, awakening is a very deep concept, one that I think a lot of people have come across. So, um, yeah, interested to have that kind of experience through the Inca teachings. Um, so there is a path of the P Quo, and apologies if I'm not pronouncing these terms properly, but
the
Yeah,
words.
I'll get there.
It's a little hard. It's a little hard to pronounce. So again, and we can say in the spiritual Inca way of life, we can say that there is Paco, uh, just to in a general way to say like is the one that begins consciously begin his journey of awakening, is the one that consciously gives the step to know more about the oneself, and to explore everything, and to seek the meanings of life or existence, which in that is, when we say Paco, and when we say Paco Kayari, Paco is the one that begins consciously his path of transformation and evolution. That means everybody can, that is already in that path, no, especially in the Inca spiritual path. Everyone that is in that journey of awakening and transformation and evolution is considered to be a Paco, no? But also we have this, that we said in this journey we call Paco Kayari. Kayari means initiation, which that means that this journey is focused, and intentionally create to initiate for those that are participating, for those that are being part of that, to consciously begin his journey of awakening, transformation, and evolution. No, so Paco Kayari is to begin to initiate consciously, to give that step into yourself, to learn about yourself, to discover your essence of oneself, your own essence, and to begin explore yourself, and to understand in a profound ways, and to also to receive realizations that one, when is beginning the path of the Paco, is beginning to discover in this life. No, so Paco Kayari is in general a human being that begins his spiritual path, a human being that begins to seek healing, transformation, and evolution. Yeah.
Interesting. So yes, so this meeting we will be going over what that kind of journey looks like. Um, what are some of the practices that one can incorporate to start that kind of a journey? What are kind of some of the maybe daily routines that we should be conscious of in, I guess, bringing in to our lives or removing things of this sort?
Mhm.
What are some
Yeah.
of the insights that some people may experience as they're awakening, and giving some kind
Mhm.
of guidance on uh, what what may come and how to recognize these things?
Okay. So, well, one of the thing is that whoever has the intention to participate there, there is a meaning there why, probably because it's the time that they need to, that this come into their lives, and it's the time to begin something new, something different, something unique about themselves. So now in the journey, yes, it's because, it's created to activate for a human being or for a person to begin his journey, of awareness. Now, all these 10 days we design these 10 days to do each day, to practice something, to learn about something, to understand about something, which in that means there is tools, we can say, that is it comes as a ceremonies, as a practices, which that's the tool that the Paco use. So that means there is methods, techniques, ceremonies, practices, rituals that help the Paco, the one that is ready to begin this journey, to bring um, more understanding about their own existence, about their own way of his journey in this lifetime. So in these 10 days, there is, we begin first with cleanse and purification, which is something that first, before we receive any information, and in the Paco way, it's important first to cleanse and purify yourself, mindly, emotionally, physically, energetically, and spiritually, so that you can receive the information that will permeate in yourself. No, so the first day is like a cleanse and purification. The next day we're going to visit a sacred site, which is the introduction with the land, with the spirits, sacred mountains, the territory there, the space. And yeah, the other days, each day is very designed that all together is like giving you the tools where the people will learn and they can use and integrate that, that information in their lives.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you kind of suggest that some of the people that do end up coming there is kind of a process that they've already been going through, of trying to self-awake or going some uh, in a personal journey themselves, and this is like a supporting process in doing that. Um, that's actually what it was. My situation in coming to Peru, I was going through, um, very deep meditational practice and having experiences in gaining understanding of myself. And a big part of that process was self healing. Um, that was, I would say, the initial step in coming to understandings of myself, and then understanding others and having like a broader perspective just based off of the learnings that I'd had just about myself. And a lot of that growth was like forgiveness, you know, looking deep into experiences that I had had in my past, and then just like letting go. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting that this part of the Inca awakening journey incorporates that healing process. So that's great.
Yeah, because we this also because it's Paco Cagliari, so that means it's the initiation in this path. So that means it's the beginning, and which the first essential in the Paco way, or in the path where the Paco begins consciously walk his journey. The first step is the healing, just like you said. That's the first and essential, and it becomes the foundation which will, create the path forward. And in this also because we designed this in that focusing in the healing aspect as a foundation to begin. So we have the what we call the Hampe Karpa. This is the healing energy transmission. Now we and during these days we learn a little bit about the essentials, how to begin to integrate things in our life so that we can begin our path of healing. But also there is a, such a very we can say, an organic technology designed by my ancestors, the Incas, that is the Hampe Carpi, which that means that's the energy transmission and activation. So this organic technology we can call, which is a rite, it's a ritual, it activates in one human being the process of healing, which that means it gives that transmission and it gives the activation of the solar seed, the Intimuhu, to begin a process of self-healing. And this, this Paco Kayari is focusing in this journey, which is the first step, that is the Hampi Karpai. That means the activation of the healing process. We know the healing process can be, shorter or longer. That's up to us and depends how much we have, but there is layers of that. So with this Hampi Karpai, we begin to activate that, so that the ones that they receive this sacred ancient initiation and transmission, there is something that is being provoked in themselves that begins to do the process of healing. So that's something very essential that we are focusing in this journey. That is, the first step, in order to receive more, in order to begin to transform. First, we going into ourselves to explore and to find all the layers that needs to be come in order and needs healing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's you call it like organic science in the description that you put about this event, and that was one of the topics that I wanted to discuss with you, and like bring up the point that like so many of these ancient teachings, whether you go to Mayans, the Incas, the Toltec, yogis, things of this sort, there is so much consistency in the practices, and in very very deep like deep um, practices that you would not imagine to find in all these different practices, which has blown my mind. And the way I look at it is like this is spiritual science. There was a time in history where we were so, as a human society, we're so um, we're on a path to discovering spiritual knowledge, and all these ancient ways of understanding came up to these consistent concepts all across the world. And the way you describe the layers um, of activation is, I think, something that's found across the ancient teachings of this world. So that is going to be exciting to get a glimpse into these kinds of ancient uh, methodologies and techniques that our ancestors had brought, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. And sounds like so there's ceremonies, there is sacred locations that we're gonna be going to. Of course, there's a community of individuals who are coming from across the world who are interested in this kind of information, going through their own journey, that we're all going to be able to share stories with and get to know. So that's always a huge, um, exciting part of these kinds of events. And yeah, so one last thing notice at the bottom of the description here, there's like a option for uh, choosing one of two sacred medicine plants. I'm sure some people are going to read this and say, "Oh, is this like, are we doing ayahuasca? Are we doing peyote? Like, what's this about?" So if you want to expand on that
Okay,
part.
so one of there is so much to still learn about, of course, of the Inca culture. And we also have a whole information about medicine. And when I'm talking about medicine, it's medicine in general, physically, mindly, energetically, how to update oneself and by using organic medicines from nature. So, and in there we have some of the practices of the medicine that our ancestors used, medicine plants, which these are very, uh, you know, especially in this time, they are getting to know a little bit. Some other medicines, not yet. Some other medicines everybody knows already in the world. And so there's again, a whole information and science behind this use of ceremonial medicine plants. We can go ahead and we're going to layer by layer discover what is the deep essence of medicine plants. No, so but in general, what we do is these medicine plants are for the ones that need and are wish to have. This is optional because these medicines, through this medicine, it can help to move the process of any kind, physically, mentally, energetically, emotionally. So the medicine plan can be like a tool that will help the process. And this, is optional for the ones that they wish to be part of that medicine plant ceremonies. And in that also, we give the information, about in a deeper level about the medicine plants use, how they were used and how we use now, and how can actually break that, we can say, controversy controversy of the use of medicine plants, and it's through knowledge. So we give the deep knowledge about that because that also is part of the science and technology of the Incas that have, no, and it's through the use of medicine plants.
Okay, great. Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a lot to unpack in this event. So great.
Yeah, there is, and there is, so everything is designed well. The places where we are, the methods, the techniques, the ceremonies where we are, the elements that we use, the ancient sites that we're going to visit, but also the natural energetic sites that is in nature, in the mountains. No, and these are places that already were used for thousands of years in the same with the same intention. No, that's what is one of the things here too, that for thousands of years ago, the ones that were beginning to walk this path, they were given these kind of steps, and they were going into this Pakukayari pilgrimage journey, where they will go to visit places, do ceremonies, connecting, with nature, and learning in a deeper level and receiving the information, energy transmission and all that. Yeah, so it's just something that is alive, and it's just and the same way that was, you know, holding by the Pacos, is the same way it's being transmit and it's being teach and it's being, giving that knowledge at the same at the same time is in, like we can say, in the original way we are beginning to share that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for the breakdown. And yeah, looking forward to this. And yeah, we will be seeing you there. So at the bottom of this video, I'm going to put links to some other videos that are coming from your page, your YouTube page, that maybe give a little bit more details. I know on my channel I have some videos where I had gone to Peru and some of the sites. You could find some of the videos showing what it's like in that region. So I'll leave those below, and yeah, we are looking forward.
Well, thank you, Adam, for inviting me. And I just want to say, I just want to send to the four directions these greetings to everyone. And well, if this is calling you, wherever you are, wherever space you are in the world, if this is calling you, this is the time, and why not to give time for yourself, right? To give that space for yourself, for your well-being, for your healing, for your transformation. Now is the time. Yeah. So blessings to all, and thank you, Adam, for inviting me here to share a little bit.
Yes, absolutely, brother.